I published 5 papers from my undergraduate studies.
Soon to be 26, and he's going to be done with his PhD on 26 years old.
I value smart working far more than hard working.
Let me open it, I'll figure things out. That's a disaster. You're setting yourself to fail. Welcome to my first podcast.
Every corner in America.
Where did the idea come from?
We close deals. That's what we do in Miami.
Thank you.
Welcome, Mohammad. How's everything going?
Thanks for having me. Everything's going good, I guess.
Yeah,
A bit stressful, but good stressful.
I'm at the gym. Nice looking guy standing next to me. I said, hey man, how you doing? He said, I'm doing great. And I think I asked you how long you've been here, and you were like,
Couple of months.
a couple of months.
Yep.
What are you doing in St. Louis?
I'm a PhD student in mechanical engineering at Washington University in St. Louis.
You are working on your PhD mechanical engineering. Why mechanical engineering?
Okay, that's a tricky question. Well, I wanted to go for something. Basically, I can do a lot of things with it. With mechanical engineering, you can do a little bit of computer science if you're interested in it.
Okay.
You can do what I'm doing, which is biomedical engineering specifically. You can have a general knowledge on how things work. And that's what I was interested in.
Nice. So you are a mechanical engineering specialized in medical equipment.
Correct.
Give me a couple of other specialized mechanical engineering.
Well, one of them is like normal solid mechanics. Another one is like fluid mechanics, like how pipes work, how making like all sorts of different devices that has like liquids and fluids in it. Another one could be like back home, like biomedical engineering is a subsection of mechanical engineering itself.
Right.
So you can do bio stuff. You can do computer science stuff and develop like software so that you can model stuff. You can do aerospace. It's a pretty broad subject. Mechanics is anything that moves. So when you say mechanical engineering,
So it is a-
science of things that usually move.
I see.
So it could be solid, like it could be liquids, it could be air. I specifically like working fluids in very, very small, tiny units. So these are all like subsections of mechanical engineering that involves some kind of movement and moving parts.
Anybody in the family engineers?
My sister's an architect. I don't know. Some people don't count architecture as engineering, but
So it is. Oh my God. Yeah.
it's a blend of engineering and arts.
Yeah.
I'd say.
Yes.
So it's a little bit more delicate.
It is. Yeah.
But
You really don't want to create things flat. You don't want things has no personality.
of course, yeah,
So she put some personality.
bring it
in
to
those
life.
things. That's why you see these buildings. Like, have you seen this guy who design buildings by the cut of a fruit? I'm sure you've seen.
Well, I've seen the videos
see that?
on Instagram.
That's
yeah.
unbelievable.
It's amazing. Yeah.
Like, how did he even think about it? Like, you cut them a lemon, and he makes a building look like a lemon from inside.
Yeah.
It's hard to explain. You had to see, and that's where you come with the architects,
Of course.
the beauty of the architect, and you mix it with engineer, and that's what she's doing.
Exactly.
Well,
yeah.
good for her. When did you know you wanted to do what you're doing right now?
To be honest with you, I'm not all the way there yet, but I always knew that I wanted to be in the tech industry
Okay.
since I was like really young. I've always been really curious, and I like to think that I'm creative as well. I like to solve problems. I like to make devices. I like to fix things. And
Yeah.
I think I've been like this since I was a kid.
It's fresh to hear someone says, I knew what I want to do when I was 10 years old. I was the same thing. I was with my father, and we were in old shopping area in Dubai. So I was in the old bazaar.
Yeah.
And by the way, bazaar is an English word as well. So the old souk, old market, we were buying things. And I saw the businessman was sitting on a desk, and there were a bunch of people around him, and they were talking numbers and they were talking things. But I was like, wow. It's like I walked into the president's office. I asked my dad, I said, what is that guy? He said, he's a businessman. I said, what is a businessman? He said, when you own businesses. So I told him, when I grow up, if I own businesses, I'll be like him. He said, yeah. I said, there you go. I got a goal I have to work on. You see yourself in the future.
Yeah.
You saw yourself in the
Yeah,
future.
definitely. Like when you look at an engine, some people like think like aliens made that engine. No, there was someone specifically, not lineage of people, specifically designing every little detail and every little aspect of that engine.
Yes.
And to me, that's like bizarre.
Yeah.
I love that.
Mr. Honda, he was driving, and all what he said, what is this metal moving? He didn't even know what to call it. And they said, this is a car. Who made it? He said, America. I guess his pride said, one day I'm going to make something like this, because Japan was on their knees, hurt. We all know what happened to Japan. And look at Honda right now.
Look at where Japan is right now.
What happened yesterday can change tomorrow. And that's what I want to tell everybody. He talked about the idea. He talked about building cylinders for the pistons. Then he started building pistons. Then he started building engines. Then he did the bicycle. Then he did the motorcycle. Then he did the car.
That's amazing.
Then when he, in the middle of when he was building the motorcycle and cars, he said, what am I doing wrong? I'm not selling more. They told him, you're not doing enough marketing. He looked for the best marketer, partnered with him.
Boom.
He's all the way to USA. He was selling more Honda motorcycles than Harley Davidson. But he wanted to be an engineer.
I wanted to be an engineer, but now that I'm thinking, I don't think I could do anything besides mechanical engineering. So yeah, I don't think I could do anything else.
Okay. How old are you?
Soon to be 26.
Soon to be 26. And he's going to be done with his PhD on 26 years old. Can you imagine this? Seriously. Doing your PhD. I'm 26 years old, and majority of people, how old are you? I'm 28. What are you doing? I'm trying to figure out.
Yeah.
I'm working on it.
Yeah, I've got big plans. That's why I have to be like, do it as fast as I can.
Yes. And focus, man. You have a lot of focus. And how many hours you spend in lab?
Well, it depends on the day, but I'd say like 50 to 60 hours a week.
And how many projects are you working on? Like you have a bunch of projects probably.
I'd say like 3 main projects and like 2 side projects.
Good.
Something like that.
And when is the graduation day?
It's going to be in December, hopefully. December this year, yeah.
This year?
Yeah.
Okay. What do you tell the young generation that they're distracted now from the economy, the politics? What's your advice to this young generation?
I'd like to think that I'm a logical person and I follow logic. Once there is a problem, I just sit down and just think. Where is the source of the problem? One of the 2 scenarios that I'm going to tell you. The source can be most likely coming from myself at that point. And it's not something that you can do in the back of your head. You need to actively sit and do it actively. What can I do to change it? What do I need to do exactly? What are the steps that I need to do? Do this, do this, do this, do this. And 13 years now, I've been on the right track.
On the right.
Which is really good. And the second scenario that could happen is, okay, the source of the problem was something from the outside. Then I can't do anything about it. Then just leave it, be at peace. Just focus on what you can do yourself. You need to be an active thinker. That's the thing. You can't just say, oh, I'll do it tomorrow. You just need to be really engaging with that thing. Have a solid plan and try to stick to it as best as you can and optimize the plan along the way. It's that simple for me. It's not just about having the discipline and hard work. I value smart working far more than hard working, because if you're working hard but you're not being smart, it doesn't count.
Yeah. Yes.
It's not useful. So for example, when I say you need to like actively do something about the goal that you're trying to achieve, like during my undergrad studies back home, I was like, what is my next big goal that I want to achieve? Get into one of the top universities in the US. Okay, what do I need to do in order to achieve that? It's that simple.
Right.
I want that. What are the requirements
Sure.
to get that? I need to have publications because I didn't have a master's degree. And for a PhD degree, I'll be competing with master's degree holders. So I needed to have something to stand out
Sure.
from the crowd. So I just started like going to my professors from back home and I just telling them, can I just join your lab to just watch what you're doing? I don't want to do anything. I just want to be present at what you're doing.
Sure.
But I had this in mind. I'm going to be there. He's going to see me. I'm going to prove to be useful. I'm going to join the team as an undergrad.
Yes.
Have this in mind as an undergrad, which isn't a common thing back home. I published 5 papers from my undergraduate studies.
5
papers.
And you didn't have to.
No.
You didn't need to. You did it just extra.
No. But I'm just telling you, I needed it in order to be able to safely come to the States.
To show people, hey, I am above everybody. Okay.
Yeah.
And that's what I tell everyone. Are you a minimum person? Do you do just the minimum work? This is what you are here for? Just to do what you're supposed to do? No. When it comes to school, when it comes to projects, when it comes to inventions, when it comes to sales, when it comes to something that's going to take you above everybody, when you have a group of people, you didn't need to do that. You don't have to do the extra pay. You were just sitting there, right?
Exactly.
But you end up doing what the students doing and even more, right?
Yes.
That's why you will be extremely successful. And I can see success coming to you because you don't wait for success to come. You go knock doors. So what I'm trying to tell you is doing the minimum will get you there. But if you want to shine, you have to do extra. And that's what you were doing.
Do extra and be smart about it.
When you show them that you've done things extra, then you get there. And in college, the same thing.
Yes, and have this in mind when I went to for my interview to the embassy. That was the first time that I was speaking English in my life.
Really?
Like the US, I wasn't speaking English before coming to here.
Are you serious? You did not speak English when you came here.
I'm not saying I learned everything here. Let's put it this way. I had rudimentary English from school and whatnot. But anything besides that point, it was just YouTube, movies, music, and whatnot.
So-
but I never spoke to anyone.
Practice it.
Yes.
You're 26 years old. You sound a lot better than me when I was 26. So don't tell me your English is perfect. At least you can write and read, you spell good, understand the lingo. I didn't. And it's social media. Social media. You grow up, you had a cell phone when you were 15 years old.
Yes.
I carried my first cell phone when I was 24, 25. And it was a flip phone.
It's mostly the internet because like at least back home when I was preteen, that was the time that was internet was becoming
Booming.
like a big thing. Western movies, music and whatnot, and I just instantly fell in love. I was like even the music. So I don't know what happened, but I just was like, okay, I can understand English now. I didn't have the confidence to speak.
You did not practice, it comes automatically. I said, I can understand, but I can't speak. Tell the young generation, what do you think they should do?
First of all, they need to find what's the goal of their life. Because that's the time if you're like a fresh graduate, you need to just figure out what is it that you want to do. Not just for the job or like what is it that you want to do. For me, for example, it was like I want to have my own company. I want to make a lot of money and I want to help everyone that I can. That's like my goal. It's the same thing for them as well. So what is the goal that you're fighting for? So that's the step number one. The second one is, what is the easiest way to achieve that goal? Have this in mind. As I told you, I'm an engineer. So there are a lot of ways you can reach a certain goal that you're looking for. But engineering teaches you how to reach whatever that you're looking with the least amount of effort. That's the key. How can I get there fastest and easiest?
That's what I do, the same thing. I tell everybody, what's your bills? How much you want to make? They say this much. Okay, how much? So you need to do this much sales to clear this much. Yeah. We put that number in the wall and we reverse it. When you open a business, you have to look at the business, picture the business, how much it costs to build a business, what money do you need, then how many people need to run it, how much sales you need to do, figure,
Exactly.
to keep it open, how many transactions, and then you keep going. You write it down and you understand. Because a lot of people say, let me get there, let me open it, I'll figure things out. That's a disaster. You're setting yourself to fail.
No, it doesn't work like that.
This is what I see myself. I finished my degree, and this is what I work on. What I think they need to do is to keep themselves busy. It is very critical to take off. There's a lot of people take off, man, for 2 years, man. And it's scary. They finish engineer or business degree or even law degree, and they just sit home waiting for their dream salary. That's scary. What do you think?
I don't like wasting time. I have already wasted 1 year and it's haunting me even up until
You can't stop thinking about it.
like seriously, like I lost 1 year and
Yeah.
it was out of my control.
Yeah.
So
So finish college, find something to do right away.
find something useful to do right away.
Useful to do right
That's
away.
right.
Don't sit, because you sit at home, you become rusty. And there's a lot of kids out of graduated right now, and they're doing just side hustle. They're doing Uber, they're doing whatever you're doing, man. You did this in college, but you got to work in your degree. You finished degree for a reason.
Well, some people are like, I'm waiting for this specific thing to happen. And once I get that check mark, I'm going to move on to the next step. It doesn't work like that.
You challenge yourself. You said, you know what? I'm going to make it happen.
I knew that I have always loved the US, but when you're trying to go for a different school, you look at all of the options.
Right.
I didn't apply to any other school outside of the US because I was like, the goal that I have, I can make the 7 years into 3.5. What's better than that? And I get paid for it, and it's the US, so I'm not thinking about anywhere else.
I am very lucky to be in the U.S. He's very lucky to be in the U.S., and we appreciate that. But it's still work. It's someone who didn't speak English. It's someone left his country, his food, his bed, his neighborhood, his mom, his dad, his family to come over here. The amount of pressure that I was like, people told me, oh, you never cry. Yeah, I cried. Kidding me? My heart was hurt, man. When you wake up and you don't see your family and your friends, you're giving up. But we're happy to be here, and I feel like we're blessed. But the plan is going very well with you. Connect why business classes in this time.
Well, eventually I want to be able to have my own startup company. There needs to be a transition from the lab to the customer's hands. So I need to, there are a lot of things that I need to figure out. How can I do what I'm doing, the lab, make it into a device that can be purchased by people or technicians or clinicians or stuff like that.
That's an old school mentality. I want to know it. I want to know everything going on in that department, which is good for you. So you're taking business classes now.
Yeah, the reason that I am this way, I never had any kind of solid support in my life. Anything goes wrong, I need to be able to fix it. And I need to know what's happening.
Yeah.
Imagine that you have all of the technical knowledge that you need to have to in order to start up or a company or whatnot. And you need to still find the investors. You need to be able to communicate with them. They're going to use expressions that it would be really, really bad if you haven't heard those expressions before.
Yeah.
So you got to prepare yourself
Yes.
for
I
what's
agree.
about to come.
I completely agree. My marketing is old marketing. Everything I know about marketing was old marketing methods. I come to 2015, 2016, they tell me social media. Are you kidding me? What's social media? Digital marketing, algorithm, posting, strategy, planning, all these things. I'm like, what are you guys talking? I knew I was good in sales, but I was missing the new marketing strategy and techniques and style. So when I start updating my marketing, everything changed. Same thing. You are updating the knowledge about business, but you want to connect the dots.
Of course, yeah.
You want to grow more. One day you'll have a business consulting firm, but you want to know, even if you want to hire someone,
Of course.
you got to know a little bit of what they do.
I want to know what's happening.
What's happening, yes. Good stuff, man.
That's like the role of a manager and a leader. You don't need to get super specific into the details of everything, but you need to have general knowledge of what's happening.
Steve Jobs never wrote a quote. He's not a programmer. He is a business planner. He put two together. He's good with people. He brought the engineer. He brought the software guy. He brought the hardware people. The purpose of this, you don't have to be the guy who knows everything.
Yeah, I completely agree.
Guys, next time, we maybe even before that, but Mohammed will be a Dr. Mohammed. Ready for that?
Yeah.
Let's do it.
Daddy, do you see?
Thank you so
Thanks for having me, man.